Are you dreaming about living the Okanagan lifestyle? Find out what it really costs to live here in 2025. Throughout the world, we've seen inflation and prices increase everywhere. But when you're looking at living in Kelowna, we're seeing some sides of the market up in the cost of living, but it's also some sides in the way down. All right, let's just jump right into it. So without further ado, we're gonna look at the housing market. This is a housing related one. I'm Mark Coons. I'm with the Selling Kelowna Real Estate Group and a local real estate agent here, going over and looking at the housing market. It is oftentimes the biggest barrier to get entry in Kelowna because we've seen home prices jump drastically in the last few years, and we've also seen rent prices jump drastically. So when you're looking at the average, one bedroom apartments in the downtown core, you can expect to pay about $1,800. And if you're looking at a one bedroom apartment on the outside, on the outer parts of the core, when you're getting into the Capri neighborhood or the Rutland neighborhood, you can expect closer to about $1,600 for that. We're starting to see the larger units also come down in price point. Just we've seen a little bit of a softening, and so 3-bedroom apartments are going right around $3,000 a month on it. So if you look on it at a per room basis, you're better off going with a 3-bedroom unit. So you're better off having 2 other roommates in your property if you are looking to get it. And even if you're getting outside of the city center, you can get the pricing down to about $900 per room. So when you look at it overall, and that's really what a lot of people going to university will pay, anywhere around the Academy Way, you're paying about $900 a room if you do have roommates, if you're going with a 3-bedroom. But going with the 1-bedrooms, you're gonna pay a little bit more, but you're only gonna have your own private space. All right, and looking at the housing market, because this is one of the biggest things, is we are starting to see a lot more supply of rental housing. Call it the short-term rental restrictions coming into effect, call it a number of different factors. The fact is, a lot of people right now are leaving British Columbia and moving elsewhere where the cost of living is a little bit cheaper. The cost of living, the prices got so out of whack where a lot of people can make the same amount of money, and Alberta is doing really well economically, and they are being able to make the same amount of money, but they're paying less on the day-to-day. That's not always going to remain the same. We went from the influx, and it'll probably go through a cycle and will eventually come back, and the business will come back to Kelowna, but that is what we're experiencing right now in 2025. When you look at the housing prices overall, you can expect to pay less on a housing if you're going to purchase it than what you were last year. When you're looking at purchasing single-family homes, you can expect to pay $1,100,000. But according to BC Assessment, right now, the average single-family home prices is $938,000 for the assessed value. So there is a little bit of a discrepancy in what homes are selling for and what the typical assessment value would be. But they're not all created equal, because that is the average sale price is month over month, and it will change monthly depending on what homes are selling. And sometimes you might have bigger properties selling. So find it right in the middle, but using the BC assessments, you can expect to pay right around $938,000 for your typical average home. And if you want to get a little bit cheaper, you can go out to West Kelowna or Lake Country and you can find cheaper housing there. In West Kelowna, the BC assessment set the average price point, or the typical price point, for $908,000. So you're saving a little bit of money out there for your type of property. Just like anything, it's the location that matters in real estate. Whether you're near the lake, other amenities, everything will be impacted in value and what you're looking for. And that's where we'll see a little bit of a discrepancy and change in price points. Each location is going to have its own pros and cons towards it. When you're looking at the townhome market, you can expect to pay, the average price point right now is about $725,000. I'm in a new build right now. We're getting into the 800s on it. So there is a lot of good value out there. When you talk about the average price point, and this is going to be townhomes built in 1970s all the way through the 2000s to currently, where we're seeing a massive influx in additional inventory on the market in this market. When you're looking at condos or apartments in Kelowna right now, the average apartment, according to BC assessments, is $493,000 worth of valuation. But here is a difference in single family homes and the condo market. In the condo market in West Kelowna, it is actually $538,000 what BC assessments has assessed. There's going to be a number of different amenities in proximity to different things. What is assessing properties, and townhomes are all at the same price point, but looking at the average, West Kelowna is actually higher than what it was in Kelowna. And utility bills, you can expect to pay around $230 a month, depending on your uses, obviously, but your typical property will. And if you're going in an older home, expect to pay a little bit more. But the brand new builds are built pretty efficient these days. So like the one I'm in would be about $100 a month for your electricity and heating on it. It does have gas, it does have all these different abilities, but that is what you can expect to pay on the norm. It will fluctuate throughout the years with air conditioning needed in the summer, the furnace needing to kick in the winter, but that's what you can look to pay per month. And when you're talking about internet and cable, you can expect to pay right around $100 a month just for internet. Shop that around because you have options for TELUS, Shaw, Rogers, I think is also making a play. And there's a number of different types of companies that are now offering more lower costs in Kelowna. But the main big ones are TELUS and Shaw. On the weekend, we went out to a movie and we went to dinner and a movie, and it cost us around $200. For the dinner out, we were paid about $125. So there you have the cost of living in Kelowna in 2025. And if you have questions on the real estate market, pick up that phone call, give me a call, shoot me a text message, email, anything real estate related. I'm here to answer any of your questions.